all of us now have Sunday plans as the NFL is back. But before this season gets ahead of itself and gets far away, it's time for me to make some not too good predictions about what's possibly going to happen this season. So if you're ready for it, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up or a thumbs down because it's your thumb, and let's go ahead and get into it. The way we're doing predictions this year is there's going to be 5 categories of different predictions I'm going to make, and the first one is top rookies, and those people are going to be Anthony Richardson and Jahmyr Gibbs. You might be thinking these are a little abstract, probably mine is Anthony Richardson, but specifically Jahmyr Gibbs. But I don't think that's crazy because obviously Anthony Richardson, he's going into Indianapolis. He doesn't have the pressure that you might say Bryce Young has to really turn that program around, or even CJ Stroud, who's trying to just figure out what in the world the Texans are going to do. He has like in between. And so sometimes when there's not a lot of pressure, but there's not the absolute of any pressure, then you kind of can make it around. And honestly, who's actually like close-knit, keeping attention on the Indianapolis Colts other than Indianapolis Colts fans? And then with Jahmyr Gibbs, as he was drafted by the Detroit Lions, that's going to be a major pickup for them. Their running game's going to improve as their star running back is now the running back for the New Orleans Saints, a spot they needed to fill. The next category is sleeper teams, and I think that's going to be the Dolphins, the Jets, and the Giants. And with the Dolphins, I truly feel like they're going to really have a massive, big season, or they're going to completely flop and end up possibly with the #1 pick. Like, there's going to be no in between for them. While when you have the Jets, yes, they have a lot of pressure. Everyone's looking at them. They finally got a quarterback that can actually do some stuff. They got some great wide receivers over there and a strong running game. A lot of pressure is on them, but I feel like they might either start the season out kind of slow and pick it up at the end, or do the complete opposite. But I feel like they're not going to be on a lot of people's radar come week 10 and 12. And that same ideology goes on with the Giants, as no one's really paying that much attention to the New York Giants right now, especially after the Saquon Barkley drama kind of died down. No one's really giving them that much attention because who do they really have on their team that people actually know? So I feel like they could just end up sliding their way possibly into the playoffs without anyone realizing. The third category are the make it or break it teams, and it's all on the line for them. If they don't get into the playoffs, have a strong run, I think we're going to see big personnel, coaches, and maybe even GM changes here. And that's going to be the Cowboys, the Bills, and the Browns. Cowboys, those are very obvious reasons. They very struggle in late season determining factors, can barely make it into the playoffs, and if they do, they get into the wild card, lose the wild card game. McCarthy's been there for a while. You got Dak Prescott there, and now you got Trey Lance, who's just waiting for an opportunity to get back on the field. You lost Ezekiel Elliott, but you have a strong running back with Tony Pollard. What are they going to do with this? Like, you got CeeDee Lamb, but they're not doing anything with all these pieces that they have on offense and defense with Micah Parsons. Like, what are we doing here, you guys? Same thing kind of goes with the Bills, as they had a little bit of drama at the end of last season with Stephon Diggs making some comments about, why do we always get to the AFC Championship or the game before the AFC Championship and lose? Why can't we get to the Super Bowl and win the actual Super Bowl? I understand you're always a contender, but you're never actually contending when all the things are on the line. Completely understand. And lastly, the Browns. Now, the Browns, they're a special case. As we know, they had the Baker Mayfield drama, they got coaching drama, they got having Deshaun Watson as their QB drama, just so much stuff there. But along with that, they just really haven't done anything. There's no problem being a 500 team. Like, that's perfectly fine. But I don't think that's their goal, to just ride in the middle of the pack of a league that they claim they could always top every year. So I truly do think this is a big year, or they're going to be seeing definitely a head coaching job change this year. Maybe it might even happen in the middle of the season for a little drama, you guys. The next category are breakout teams, and I think these people are just going to have a massive season this year. Not necessarily win the Super Bowl, get to the Super Bowl, or probably even make the playoffs, but I think they're going to have a big year. And I think these teams are going to be the Ravens, the Lions, and the Saints. Now with the Ravens, they got Lamar Jackson coming back. They got Odell Beckham on their team. They got their running back game going strong now. I think they have a full set of pieces. And again, I think they're running a little bit on the radar when it comes in the AFC. I think the Ravens might have a little fighting chance when it comes to that fourth position, because 1 and 2 and 3 are pretty full with the Bills, the Chiefs, and the Cincinnati Bengals. I think the Saints are going to have a pretty big season as they finally figured out their whole QB situation problem they were having last year. They have a strong running game. And now they have Chris Olave. He's been in there for a year. They have some strong receivers to go along with Chris Olave. And I think they can actually be a team that makes a true statement this year. And finally, the Lions. The Lions did not make the playoffs last year, as we all know. But I think they had the best season out of everyone. They came back. They won a lot of games. They kept some people out of the playoffs by making that big run in the last game of the season. And they're just so lovable. Like, how can you not just root for the Lions? And I think between Jared Goff being there another year, you got a strong coaching staff. I think they could might keep some other people's favorite teams that others will consider locks out of the playoffs this year. And the last category are going to be first pick contenders. And these are the teams that I think are going to be at the very bottom of the league this year. These teams are the Cardinals, the Raiders, and the Patriots. The Cardinals are for very obvious reasons. They're sending everybody off, shipping off stock, and getting rid of everything in between. Like, who's left? Like, Zach Ertz isn't going to even play probably on the first game. Josh Dobbs might be their starting quarterback. Like, what is going on over there? The Raiders, who, yeah, they got Jimmy Garoppolo as their quarterback and Amari Cooper as their wide receiver, and Josh Jacobs finally decided he's going to come back to the team. But what else do they really got going over there? You know, there's nothing special happening. I just don't see any magic coming out of there, you guys. And lastly, you have the Patriots. They had a big fall from Mac Jones' first season to his second season. They do have some new people coming in with Ezekiel Elliott and Juju Smith-Schuster, but like, is that really going to help move them to the next spot or even move them kind of back to being a real contender in the NFL? Who knows? Not me, of course. Well, now that you know all about my predictions this NFL season, check out this video right here where I talk about all the drama and trades and new signings that people have gotten over the off season, as well as subscribe and hit the bell to be notified every time I post a new video, which are Mondays at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Leave me a comment down below telling me your predictions for this NFL season. And go ahead and give this video a thumbs up or a thumbs down because it's your thumb. And remember, don't be afraid to join the convo.